If you want to take your business, your life, or your money to the next level, a money mindset coach may help you on your journey. Achieving any goal requires an understanding of how successful people think and what they do, and understanding how they hire advisors and coaches to achieve their goal. If you need financial planning or investment advice, you need to hire a qualified advisor who has the credentials to give you the advice, such as an investment advisor or a certified financial planner. While there are a few exceptions, rarely is it legal for somebody to be giving you investment advice, especially specific investment advice. And my recommendation, and that of most financial experts, is to always use someone who's licensed or registered, and that they start with a financial plan versus somebody just trying to sell you something. So I think it's really important that you've got to get really clear if you even need a money mindset coach or you really need a financial advisor. This is such a critical issue that I'm actually going to share some insight on when you should not use a money mindset coach or a money coach. So let's dive in. Hi, I'm Annette Bau, host of the Wealth Inside and Out podcast and founder of the Millionaire Insider. My mission is to help you simplify the money game so you can create a financially secure and fulfilled life without having to have a PhD or spend countless hours on your finances. You're going to learn how to think like a millionaire, stop worrying about money and wondering if your financial house is truly in order, and instead spend your time doing what you love. With over 3 decades advising 7, 8, and even 9-figure millionaires, and now joining that elite group, I'm in a unique position to help you make the best financial choices so you can create a secure financial future and retirement you love. This is the Wealth Inside and Out podcast. To access your free financial checkup, you can go to themillionaireinsider.com/FC. Let's face it. Most people get medical checkups, right? They understand how important they are, but a financial checkup is just as important because you need your health and your wealth. By making little tweaks. Most people think they're major tweaks, but really by getting a checkup, looking at what you're doing, where you could make a few minor changes, it can make all the difference in the world. So I really encourage you to access this checkup. You can go to themillionaireinsider.com/FC. MillionaireSeries.com copyrights all materials and intellectual property. This information is for educational purposes only. It is not intended to replace any advisor or specialist or provide investment, financial, tax, retirement planning, or healthcare advice. By accessing this content, you agree to hold MillionaireSeries.com and its affiliates harmless for results achieved or not achieved. For today's show notes, you can go to themillionaireinsider.com/82. So let's begin with what is a money mindset coach. Most money mindset coaches focus primarily on mindset, habits, and behaviors as compared to technical financial advice or services that require professional licenses. They can help you identify and transform your beliefs and attitudes about money so that you can create healthier financial habits and ultimately achieve your financial goals with the goal of making it easier. They work with clients in a variety of areas. So let's review some examples. One of the things they commonly do is to help you identify and overcome limiting beliefs, like money blocks and money stories that are keeping you stuck. And they help you recognize negative beliefs about money, such as money is the root of all evil, or I'm not good with money, money's bad, or money's not spiritual. And a lot of these beliefs are so ingrained and they can really hinder our financial success. They also can help with reframing thoughts, helping you develop a positive abundance mindset versus a poverty consciousness. They can guide you in reframing these beliefs into empowering beliefs and thoughts that are positive. For example, changing I never have enough money or I'll never be wealthy to I easily accumulate wealth. They also can help with positive habits, working to help you create better money habits like spending more consciously, saving more money, investing more money, and making sure that you are aligning your actions with your goal. Another thing they do is to help you make better financial decisions and to set financial goals. Making financial decisions for some people can be really difficult because they either make them and don't think about them, or they take too long to make them. And they can assist you in setting really clear, achievable goals and helping you create a plan, a bigger picture plan to help you reach them. And once you have that plan, that bigger concept, then you can go and start working with an advisor. Sometimes it's going to be paying off debt or saving for a big purchase or a game plan to start investing for the future. Now, as I mentioned before, if you do start an investment plan, it's imperative that you're either using a registered investment advisor or a certified financial planner, somebody who is licensed to give investment advice. Another thing they commonly do is help you build confidence. When people focus in on improving their mindset and really building confidence around their ability to manage their money, it can have profound effects on their future. And I think a lot of women especially lack financial confidence because we grew up with the belief or being told that, women aren't good with money. And what's so fascinating is that most women are actually really good. It's so funny because people say, oh, they're not as good. I don't find that to be the case at all. In fact, I find them to actually be in a lot of cases better. A lot of times they don't have the confidence, so they need some support and direction. But once they get a little momentum, it's amazing. And I think the other issues that's so fascinating to me is that too many people assume that one partner needs to take care of the money. And typically it's the man, not always. Sometimes it's the woman. But what's so fascinating is that no one would ever assume that their spouse is going to do surgery on someone, right? Or that their spouse is going to go build a house. Never, because they're not qualified. And yet, how many people just assume somebody has the financial knowledge? That's where there's a big problem because that's where you see somebody doing trading, like day trading, thinking they know what they're doing, and it's a disaster. And I think because we haven't had a down market literally since 2008, just 16 years? Boy, it's just people have gotten so overconfident in their ability to manage a portfolio. And so you got to be really careful with that because even when the market has blipped in the last few years, not really in the last few years, but literally about 6 years ago, where it had a major decline. One advisor, his accounts, they lost 50%. I was like, oh my gosh, how were you invested? Really aggressive. And so you got to be really careful with that because if you're invested to where you can get like 2 times or 4 times the earnings of, say, a stock, like some of these EFTs, you got to realize that you're going to then lose 2 to 4 times if it goes down. And I think a lot of times people get so overconfident when the market's going up, as I share all the time. The best time to find out your level of risk is when the market drops. Everyone is a growth-oriented investor when it's going up, but not so much when it's going down and they're losing money. So you've got to take that into consideration and make sure that you are really clear on what your risk tolerance is. Even though I invest in single stocks, I am not really that much of a growth-oriented investor. I've been growth-oriented my life because I'm in this business and because I was long-term. But I don't like losing money. I love knowing that I've got predictable income. It's just important to me, as it is a lot of women. Another area they can help you is providing accountability. They often offer ongoing support and accountability to hold you accountable for the decisions you're making and to keep you on track so that you are taking the action you need to take to achieve your goals and that you stay on course. And if you get off course, you can get back on course. And then they also help in the area of personal development. Beyond just finances, they oftentimes focus on overall personal development, including stress management, anxiety, career growth, work-life balance, as well as just your relationship with money overall. Now, some of the techniques they use are going to vary, but some examples include visualization, meaning where you're actually seeing it. And there are so many studies, for example, visualization. And it is amazing the studies that have been done on visualization. Now, I can remember a study that was done probably 20, 30 years ago. And I remember reading and I was fascinated. They took 2 basketball teams, and I'm not sure if it was professional or it was college, but they separated them into 2 groups, 3 groups actually. One group just visualized, one group just practiced, and one group did both. The group that did both visualize and practice was 2/3, so 66% better than the other ones. The other ones each improved by a third. But latest studies are they'll have people where they actually will wrap their biceps in a cast so they can't move it. And then they have the person visualize strengthening their muscle and flexing their bicep. And it's amazing. After they take the cast off, they have muscle. And what's fascinating in one study, they continued without doing anything for like 12 weeks of having that muscle. It's unbelievable. But there are so many studies that have been done on visualization. You can't ignore it or discount it. Another one is affirmations. One of my favorite affirmations is I am enough, because I think at the core level of a lot of people who have not achieved their desired goal is just a belief that we're enough. I am enough is such a powerful affirmation. I accumulate wealth with ease is another great one. There's also a lot of chants that are really amazing. And one of the things in our mastermind that I have done is really share a lot of those chants. I'm fascinated by the results people have gotten. And I'm looking forward to even doing some more formal studies myself just to see the results people can get from any of those modalities. Now let's talk about areas that money mindset coaches are not qualified to offer information or insight in. The first is financial advice. You need somebody who's licensed. They are not certified financial planners, advisors, or accountants, so they can't give you specific investment, tax, or retirement advice. They can guide you in general financial habits, but they won't give you personalized investment or financial planning recommendations. And if they are, that should be a red flag to you. They're just not qualified. So it's not a road I would head down. Legal advice. They're not attorneys, so they can't give you insight on estate planning, bankruptcy, contracts, or other legal documents. You need a licensed attorney. Now, some states allow people that aren't licensed to set up wills or trusts, and they're supposedly doing it through a group that has licensed attorneys. But if you're going that route, you just need to be careful. Especially if you have a complicated estate plan, you need a really good estate planning attorney who focuses in on tax planning as well as a really good financial advisor. That is an ideal combination. And the reason it's important to have a financial advisor is because the financial advisor, especially if they're working with you regularly, knows so much more than the attorney does. The attorney is just looking at a glimpse of your life, of what you tell them. A lot of times they'll include different scenarios in the estate plan that are not applicable to you based on your situation. So it's imperative that somebody is really thoroughly reviewing that document. Counseling. Most mindset coaches, money mindset coaches, are not licensed therapists or counselors, and they're not equipped to dive into deep psychological issues like severe anxiety, depression, or trauma. So you got to be really aware of that. And any good one is going to tell you to go get the support you need. There is some issue as far as debt management services. They cannot act as a debt counselor or negotiate with creditors on their client's behalf. So if you need debt consolidation or settlement or credit repair, you should consult with a certified credit counselor or debt management professional. So you just have to check with your coach and find out if they're qualified. Tax preparation and advice, as I mentioned before, they're not tax professionals, so they cannot be offering you tax advice. And you just have to look at your state to see if they can prepare taxes. Some states do allow enrolled agents to prepare taxes. Other states are a little more lax. And so again, you've just got to be aware of what your laws are in your state. But again, especially if your situation's a little bit complicated, I really think you should be either using an enrolled agent or a CPA. And then they can't sell financial products or really even promote them, like insurance, mutual funds, stocks, unless they have licenses. So you've got to make sure that if they're making any recommendations, that they're properly licensed and that they share if they have a conflict, meaning if they're selling you life insurance and they're making a commission, they just need to disclose that. So how do you hire a money mindset coach? First, you got to determine if you need a coach or a financial advisor. And I cannot stress to you how important that is. A financial advisor is going to help you with financial planning, investment planning, choosing the investments you invest in, probably estate planning. retirement planning, all of those types of things. Whereas a money mindset coach is going to work more on the money side, relating to your behaviors and your habits and your beliefs, as well as the mindset side. So the first thing is you got to get really clear on your goals. What do you want to achieve? It's so important that you know this before you go to hire somebody, because whether your goal is to overcome financial challenges or maybe improve your relationship with money, or maybe it's just setting and achieving goals, you want to make sure you're clear, because it's really hard for somebody to help you get from point A to point B if you're not clear on what you want to achieve. Now, if you're not clear, you may be more broad in what you want. For example, you may say, okay, I want to have enough money to retire, but I don't know how much that is, and I don't know what I should do. All right, well, at least now you have a starting point. Another thing to consider is the experience and credentials of the coach, meaning what are their credentials? Where have they gotten certification from? Is it a reputable certification program? Are they a financial coach or are they a financial therapist? And which do you need? So you always want to look at their expertise and their credentials to make sure it's in alignment with what you need. I recommend that you interview potential coaches and just get to know them. Try to understand what their approach is, what their expertise is. If you like them, if you feel they're relatable, if you feel they can help you. You also want to determine what is their availability and how do they communicate with you? Are they available to answer questions in between sessions? Like, let's say you're having an emotional breakdown and you're thinking you're going to get in your car and go to the mall and start shopping. Are they available to walk you off that cliff? You also want to know how effectively they communicate and make sure that it aligns with your communication style. Look into cost and packages. You want to find out if they have one-off sessions or they have a package of services, and make sure that whatever their fees are, it aligns with your budget, and make sure that you're really clear on the terms of service. You know, it's fascinating because we read so many contracts and I've read so many. I was going to hire this woman. I mean, it was a lot. I mean, I think it was a lot of money. It was like $5,000 or $6,000, maybe even seven. And I really liked her. And then I read her contract and it was just terrible. It literally stated my contract department had a fit. The person that does all my contracts reads them. It literally said that she really didn't have to do anything and she could charge me. I mean, it was the most bizarre contract. A lot of people hire her. So I'm sure a lot of people aren't reading that. So make sure and read the contract before you sign it. Always, always. Client testimonials. Do they have client testimonials? Now, sometimes you can't have testimonials because your clients don't want their name out there. But if they do, that can be good. And if they don't, maybe they have references. So again, you just want to look at that. And then also ask them if they allow an introductory session that you can just talk to them, meet them without having to pay them. A lot of coaches will do that. Some therapists, not all, but this is a major decision. So finding the right one is so important. And you want to take the time to make sure that it is the right one and that it's somebody that is going to work with you over the course of the time you need them. So you're not having to continue to search for a new one, or you get involved or you hire them to find out that they were not the right one. So there you have it. So let's recap. The first thing we discussed is what is a money coach? And specifically, we really dove into the difference between a financial advisor and a money coach. It's imperative that if you need financial advice, a financial plan, investment advice, retirement planning advice, estate planning advice, you need a financial advisor and or attorney and or CPA. If you're looking more for behavioral changes, changing habits, changing your mindset, your beliefs, a money coach may be great for you. We talked about what they do and how they can help you in the different areas, and then what they don't do, meaning legal work. They should not be giving you legal advice or tax advice or financial advice or therapy advice. So make sure you really look at that. And then we discuss the different steps as far as looking to hire one and different considerations. So I really encourage you to make sure that before you go down the road of finding a money mindset coach or hiring one, that you really make sure that you're clear on what you need. Now, if you have questions on this, you can go to themillionaireinsider.com/SR for support-request. our coaches can help you determine, do you need a money mindset coach or do you need a financial advisor? And that can be really helpful. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this. And more importantly, if you need help with your money, I really encourage you to make the decision to either hire a money mindset coach or a financial advisor. If you have not taken your financial checkup, please go to themillionaireinsider.com/FC. Our financial checkup is there to help you really get clear on where you are and, more importantly, what you need to do. And as I share with you, a lot of times making minor tweaks in your plan, in the action you're taking, can make all the difference. So I encourage you to go to themillionaireinsider.com/FC. If you love the content of this podcast, please follow and subscribe to our channel so you get notified of episodes, and also give us a 5-star review and share a comment. We really appreciate it. Congratulations on taking another step to create a financially free life you love. If you're not sure about your financial future or that it's in order, or you are ready to stop worrying about money, or possibly the fear of becoming a bag lady, ending up broke in retirement, or you simply are ready to know your financial house is in order so that you can have a bright financial future, please go to themillionaireinsider.com/NSF. And that doesn't stand for non-sufficient funds. It stands for next step finance. It's the next best step of what you need to do so you can avoid an NSF notice in your future. Again, themillionaireinsider.com/NSF. The number of women who were not broke or poor while working or married is staggering. The entire mission of the Wealth Inside and Out podcast is to ensure you have the information for you, your family, your friends, anyone who's willing to listen to it and apply it so that you can create a financially free life you love. Again, themillionaireinsider.com/NSF. Until our next episode, take one action that will help you create a financially free life you love. I'm Annette Ba'u, your host. All international copyrights are reserved. Bye for now.